Is there no way to get any guns to Norway since you pretty much live there?
So there is a way. It's just a long, goose chase kind of endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
I've already begun the process. So to get a handgun in Norway, you have to take the IPSC course, so competition shooting. And then if you're not from the EU, like myself, then I have to get a background check done in both countries and a psychological evaluation in both countries. Mm-hmm. And then that's proof that I can now purchase a pistol or import the pistol. But the import process takes like 2 years.
Oof. Oof. Man, and I thought we had it bad. Welcome to Whiskey and Windage, the two-way podcast for the people, by the people. I'm your host, Mike, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Adam and Matt. Guys, how are we doing tonight?
Oh, dude, I'm excited. This guest we've been talking about for a while. I think we started back in March trying to get NorArm on, and here we are today, so super excited.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, baby.
Yeah, man. So just for everybody that's listening, we want to remind everybody to check out the GOA Summit, August 17th and 18th, Knoxville, Tennessee. You'll see us, but more importantly, you'll see a lot of other cooler people. And, you're going to meet a lot of new vendors and vendors you used to and get to see the products and everything. Like, you guys got anything on that?
Oh, man, I'm just excited. I'm excited to not see the vendors. I'm also excited to connect with other people that are in our world that we've had on the podcast. They're going to be there. We can meet face-to-face. So Pew Party was an eye-opener. Like, meeting people and being in person is way different. So that's what I'm excited for.
Matt?
I'm super excited for another big show on the other side of the country. It's like right in the middle of the year between, the next SHOT Show. So hopefully it becomes a big thing in the future. And we get to start having like 2 releases of cool stuff every freaking year. So I'm excited to go to the GOA Summit, and I'm already excited for next year.
Yeah, man, and it's really cool. And just to let you guys know, we have appreciated the love. We've appreciated the views on the Spotify as always. The YouTube took off. Last week's kind of got hit a little bit. We got a slap on the wrist, got a couple naughty letters from the powers that be at the YouTube. Evidently, we're not allowed to say, or we're not allowed to say, or. Nope. So, thanks to the thing that is happening in this country in the second to last week, the second to last month of the year, that involves all of the citizens thinking about something and thinking about what they would rather see and all of that bullshit. I'm not sure. Something weird. It's like something riding rhymes with riding and something rhymes with hump. And we're not allowed to say anything in all of that because we evidently have to have a certificate that involves something. It's just a whole bunch of bullshit. So we're not going to talk about any of that shit. Let's just move on. And, man, let's hang out with Hank from NorArm Tactical.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
We want to welcome to Whiskey and Windage for this week's show, Hank from NorArm. Hank, thanks for joining us, brother. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure.
Awesome.
It's kind of cool seeing you stateside.
Yeah.
It feels good to be back in the States and seeing all the familiar things.
Hell yeah, man. How long you?
I'll leave on Thursday morning.
Gotcha. Okay.
But my guns were getting really lonely without me, so I had to come back and give them some comfort.
Gotta come back and see the babies.
Oh, is there no way to get any guns to Norway since you pretty much live there?
So there is a way. It's just a long, goose chase kind of endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
I've already begun the process. So to get a handgun in Norway, you have to take the IPSC course, so competition shooting, and then if you're not from the EU, like myself, then I have to get a background check done in both countries and a psychological evaluation in both countries. And then that's proof that I can now purchase a pistol or import the pistol. But the import process takes like 2 years.
Oof. Man, and I thought we had it bad.
Yeah, it is rough. And don't even get me started with ARs.
Oh, man, I can't believe it. Well, Hank, for the folks who may not know you, maybe don't know NorArm, tell everybody who you are, what you do for NorArm.
So I'm Hank. I'm from Kansas City originally, and I moved out to Norway and started working for NorArm. We make some premium quality combat clothing and tactical clothing, and just trying to, I would say, bring the quality, but not necessarily that high price tag that you would see on other combat uniforms. So
I can vouch for that.
My job at NorArm is the business development manager. So since I understand the largest market in the company, which is the United States, being from there, I'm able to help them navigate that water and kind of expand the business so that they can be more profitable.
Yeah, I saw recently that you just signed on, I think, your first stateside distributor. Is that right?
That's correct. It's Americana Pipe Dream.
I love the commercials. They have some great commercials, though. Like, that guy is a showman.
Absolutely. No, I had the pleasure of hanging out with those guys for a little while at SHOT Show this year, and what amazing people. They're good dudes, and we're very happy with our partnership with them.
That should help bring them kind of full circle through, like, pretty much all generations of camouflage and surplus and overrun stuff. Like, they have a really cool collection of stuff. So
yeah, they do. And I mean, it's just, I've always thought of that, as I was coming up in the years, like, there aren't really a lot of really good surplus stores out there. And then Americana Pipe Dream, hit the nail on the head, and it was like, it wasn't too long and they were just exploding.
Yeah.
So they're doing it right.
Good.
Yeah, I'm really digging. I've got, as I've told you offline, like, I've got every color you offer now, as far as the pants go. But yeah, I'm really digging them. My favorite two right now are the Norwegian camo. Love that one. And the what do you call it? The multi, whatever that color
multi-pattern.
is.
Multi-pattern.
Multi-purpose. It is multi-purpose.
Multi-purpose?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, and I understand, it's, kind of got to get around certain things and do certain stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. Like, how are you guys? And, like, I'm sure it's a task, just looking at, you guys versus all of the other guys that are out there, whether they are on your level or whether they are, Amazon quality. I don't want to disparage anybody, but how does NorArm try to stand out in that market of, flooded stuff? Because now it seems like in our world, you see a lot of YouTubers and influencers, and it's like, man, I really don't want to spend a couple $100 on some pants. It's easier for me to buy something off of Amazon for, $60, $70. It looks the same, and I get, 10%, 20% of the lifespan, but they're not built as well. I can vouch. But how do you guys stand out?
So I think that's where we do stand out is, when you look at Cry, and this is not a knock on Cry, because Cry serves a very special purpose. A lot of their products have been treated with special processes that allow it to be fireproof, or, the list goes on. IR, management, all that stuff goes into a lot of what they do. For us, we aren't trying to do any of that stuff. So we're trying to find that middle ground between that lower end stuff you might find on Amazon and then the Cries. And when it comes to comfort, I think you get what you pay for. And especially when it comes to the quality, I think having something that lasts is a lot better than having something that won't last, especially if you are putting it through its paces and actually using it and abusing it. I think that medium to high quality is going to hold up a lot better than something that you would get for cheaper. So it's kind of like, do you want to spend your money on something that'll last, or do you want to spend your money on something that's going to wear out after a little while?
Yeah, that makes sense. And also, I'll vouch for this because I own, like Mike, I own quite a few pair of your pants, and I love them. But I've also had cries. What I notice is the sizing. You guys are much more, I don't want to say generous with sizings, but it's a much more of a comfort. My cry pants, when I get a certain size, I have to be careful how I order them. Yours, there's just more comfort built in, especially for a guy that likes to wear them to the range. I like to appendix carry sometimes, and I have that little bit of extra leeway in there, and I do appreciate that on your guys' pants as opposed to other companies that it seems are a little tighter in certain spots that I would like.
I don't know, man. I'm the opposite. I've learned how to order my pants, but to me, I'm like, oh yeah, the European guys. This isn't America. Not everybody's obese over there. So when they say, hey, a large in some cases is a medium. In some cases, an extra large is a large. You got to play with the size, but it's definitely one of those things where I do vouch with Adam what he's saying, though. Once you get the right sizing, everything fits like it's supposed to, and you do have those, slack where you really want it.
Yeah, for sure. And I know that there has been a few confusions with our sizing chart and how we do our sizes. And I can say that in the future, we will move over to that more American-esque, like 30 by 32, 32, 34. We'll start to incorporate those sizes a lot more, so that way it's easier for everybody to know exactly what to get. It'll just make things easier for everybody.
No, that makes sense. And I'll tell you, the crotch zippers are a lifesaver when it's 110 degrees outside. So
yes,
holy cow, yes.
The nut ventilation system.
Yes. Love it.
NVS. I love it.
That's right.
Awesome. You guys can have that. You can have that for free. So Hank, tell us, I know about NorArm, but like how was the company founded? Like when were they founded? How were they founded?
So the company was founded in 2019 by Mike and our co-founder Thomas. Mike had just did his stint overseas, and they came together and wanted to create a better combat pant. He was using cries in northern Iraq, and he was sick and tired of like the knees. If the pads came out, you just have thin fabric there. It's not a lot of protection. So just small things that he wanted to change, and Thomas helped fund him, and we're here today. And it was just them for a very long time. I would say 2 years of just them, and then Sebastian came on board. And then it wasn't until a little over a year ago now that I came on board and Malin came on board. And then Carl soon came after that. So awesome. We've expanded quite a bit in a short amount of time.
So, Hank, how did you go from living in the U.S. to getting a job in Norway, doing something that's just, it has to be a cool story.
Okay, so I was actually in the Navy, and I was stationed in California. And then I met my wife online, and she was Norwegian, but I was actually stateside. So I actually thought she was a foreign exchange student. But doesn't matter. It worked out, and it was either, get out of the Navy and enlist in the Air National Guard or do something around that route, or move to Norway and see how that would go. And I chose to move to Norway, and then bounced around from job to job here and there. I worked for a dogware company doing military contracts for them, but then COVID really took the wind out of those sails, and they had to liquidate that side of the company for a while. But then after COVID, I was just kind of on Google, or maybe I was on Instagram, I can't really remember, but I saw like a NorArm post, and I'd never heard of NorArm before. And I was like, okay, that kind of sounds like a Norwegian thing. So I just Googled it, and I saw what it was, and then I sent them an email with my resume, and turned out they weren't 2 hours away from me at the time. So drove down there, had a coffee, got to meet the guys, and I think a month later I was working there.
That's awesome. That's cool. And then now, are you trying to get like a citizenship there since your wife's there? Are you trying to do a dual citizenship? Or are you just hanging out? Okay.
I will be a dual citizen after another 2.5 years, I believe, and then I have to take and complete a Norwegian language course. I've tried to do it once, but the first day they didn't really teach me any letters or numbers or anything like that. They just started asking about which political party you wanted to be a supporter of. And I was like, okay, I'm not feeling this. I'll come back later. But I've actually picked up quite a little bit of Norwegian, but it's a very difficult language.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I think it's interesting. I'm not trying to get on this topic, but what you just said was so interesting to me. So it's like you apply for citizenship, and then once you applied for your citizenship and you do all that, in order to become a citizen, you have to learn the language. That's
or at least pass that course.
The basic course. I mean, it's just a really cool thought. It's a really cool idea. It sounds like they got their junk together. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Norway is actually a really great place to live. Everyone assumes, I hate the word expat or expatriate. Yeah. I hear that all the time from people, and I hate it because it's like, I'm not saying I'm not a patriot. I'm definitely a patriot. I just choose to live on a different part of the world. But my roots are still in the US of A, and I still love it. It's the greatest country on earth.
I love that, but
Norway
also
is a close second.
I mean, I'll be honest, I see on your Instagram a lot, like when there's like 4th of July or certain holidays, it seems like you guys are doing, like you had bags out that you're grilling. It seems like maybe the people there try to help you have that American mindset still. Like you guys do a lot of things there. Like if I didn't know better, I was watching you do some stuff with your family or your friends. It looked like you were in the U.S.
Yeah, so, I mean, my wife's family, they're really, really cool. My wife's brother, he lives in San Francisco with his American wife. So it's like we kind of did a swap. So
it's like a swap.
They literally love America. They love my funny traditions. I got a bunch of buddies in the Norwegian military that'll come and celebrate the 4th of July with me this year. We're going to grill. I'll make a bacon jam. I fly the American flag on my farm every day. People know that I'm the American, so they love to celebrate with it. The last few years I've celebrated in Sweden. Sweden absolutely loves America, more so than Norway does.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
So if you are someone who's looking to move to another country, I would suggest Norway or Sweden. Definitely awesome places to go.
Well, 4th of July, I mean, come on. Who doesn't love grilling and drinking beer and lighting fireworks?
Absolutely. I mean, we don't light the fireworks, unfortunately, but we have horses, so that'll spook them too much. But we do celebrate Thanksgiving every year, and all my American friends that I've made over there, they come over and we have Thanksgiving together as our little thing. So that's pretty cool too.
Awesome.
So with the current state of the company, understand that you guys are making the uniforms or just the pants, just a shirt, whatever. You're making this the tactical apparel. Is right now, is your focus getting more into the civilian market, or is it more into, I guess, the military market?
So I'm glad you asked that, because we are actually trying to get more into the civilian market, because I feel like if I was a civilian and I went on to Cry Precision's website, I would immediately be shied away, because I see that all of that is a very high-speed, low-drag type of gear. I might not need that. But if I go on a website and I see that they have that, but they also have, maybe things that I can wear. It doesn't have to be camo and tactical with pockets everywhere, and that stick out like a sore thumb. I can still have that tactical advantage, but I kind of can stay under the radar. And I think that's, the gray man concept is, I think, something that's being adopted a little bit, or rapidly, I should say. And you see it all the time. Like if you walk into an airport and you see a guy with a 511 Molly backpack on, I mean, you kind of know that's a target. Yeah. So being able to give someone the tactical advantage, but also stay kind of hidden and inconspicuous, I think that's an untapped market.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm glad you guys are in it, because when it comes to stuff that I do, It's just like Adam. I mean, I go to the range. I'll run a couple competitions. Do a bunch of cool guy stuff for the gram. But really and truly, I'm not out there using it like it's intended to be used. But for the most part, also with that, I still want to buy quality. I don't want to buy something that is going to be a one and done, or I don't want to buy something that after I wash it the first time, it doesn't fit the same. And I do want all of the adjustability like you guys offer. And I know lesser quality offers the same thing, but I also understand that, the materials are better. They actually, they bend and they move and they shape to your body a lot better. It's not like you can order some off of Amazon, whatever, and it feels like they're just starched blue jeans. I mean, they are just, It's like canvas. And with your stuff, I like that you can put knee pads in them, but you don't need them because you've got the fabric pads that are in there, which are nice. I mean, I don't know. I just like all the adjustability. And so I'm all about spending a little bit more money for quality for longevity. I know it's not because I'm going to burn through them. I mean, eventually I will, but you guys definitely take the time and put the quality in.
For sure. Yeah. And I think you'll see that with our upcoming product launch with the range pants and the range shirts.
I can't wait.
Yeah, these pants, I don't know if you guys have been, keeping an eye on the Instagram and stuff like that, but the range pants are going to be, I think, they're going to be a simpler product. It's not going to have, all this adjustability and all these different ventilations everywhere. It's going to be really straightforward. You can wear them anywhere. You can wear them traveling. You can wear them to the range, a night out, on a date. You can wear them in a meeting. They're pretty much do-it-all pant with that same kind of comfort and feel to the body that you would expect. And the rain shirts, I was wearing one yesterday during a USPSA match here in Kansas City, and it was fantastic. It was about 90 degrees, 80% humidity, and it was hot as hell, but, I mean, it felt fantastic wearing that on the range.
Dude, that's awesome. And I also want to mention this because I've bought a lot of products from you guys. Your shipping is stupid fast. I get shipping faster.
I don't know how y'all
coming from Norway.
It's like 2 days. I get shipping from Norway to San Antonio in 2 days. Besides Amazon, 24-hour overnight, you guys are the fastest shipping out there. It's crazy.
Yeah, DHL is one of our favorite people because they really they know how to deliver. That's for sure.
Yeah, they do, and it's always nice because it's a guaranteed. It goes from I can always tell it goes from Norway, Germany, I think Ohio to Texas in like 2 days. I'm just like, how can't companies in the U.S. take 6 or 7 days and they're like a state away? So it's crazy. I do commend you guys for that. It's awesome.
Yeah, I was talking to a buddy of mine in Florida. He was a guest of the show in the past, Brent Tucker, and he was talking about how at SHOT Show he met some guys from NorArm, and he was like, man, I really want to try these pants out. And he was like, but, I got told that this stuff ships like really fast. Like, have you used them? And I was like, yeah, I've used them like 6 times. He was like, is it really that fast? I said, like, bro, I don't know how to say this. I don't know how they don't lose money shipping. And I'm sure it's just a really good negotiation with DHL. But for some reason, you place the order that night, and unless you place it late and you guys are closed because of the time change, if you get it early enough in the morning, it'll ship out that afternoon, and it'll be on your door in 2 days. And you just don't skimp on the pants when you get it. Like, you get the nice NorArm, box. There's NorArm tissue paper in it. Like, I mean, the presentation and the appearance is all there, so you're getting quality. And I love that every attention to detail you guys do. And a lot of people, packaging, whatever. But I look at it like with firearms back in the day. You used to buy a gun and you get a case with it. And now you're buying and you get a cardboard box that doesn't even have the company's logo on it sometimes. Yeah. But like the attention to detail and the marketing and the advertising, like it just doesn't stop at the pants. It's in the box, and I love that.
For sure, we appreciate that. We do put a larger emphasis on that. And speaking of Brent, I was one of the guys that he was talking to at SHOT Show. Love his cigars. He gave us a box of cigars. Those were awesome for the Norwegian Independence Day celebrations.
Hell yes.
Awesome.
But yes, I am going to get him a set of uniforms. He wants the Norwegian Woodland, so we just got to wait until we get some more in. But he'll be definitely getting those as soon as that happens.
Oh, I've been waiting too, because that's the only pair of pants I don't have is Norwegian Woodland, and then I've been waiting. I'm just waiting for them to come back in.
Yeah, so I got my mannequin Adam wearing the Norwegians right there. Let's say it looks like Adam. That's what I tell everybody.
Yes, yeah. So Hank, I have to ask, because I was talking to your boss man Mike. We were DMing the other day, and I was like, I need some dirt on Hank or something funny. And he kept it. He didn't throw any dirt on you, but he did tell me to ask you, how's it feel working for the Black Sheep Norwegian company? And I don't know what that means, but I'm guessing you do.
So yes, in Europe and especially Norway, but in Europe, you don't see a lot of tactical companies. You don't see a lot of companies that are doing what American companies do, going out to the range, shooting, explosions, tactical stuff, jumping out of planes and helicopters and shooting the bad guy. That's not something, like, America has really romanticized that over the years. And in Europe, they've seen 2 world wars on their front door. They would rather not think about that kind of stuff. So it hit them a lot different than it hit us. And in Norway especially, they don't like that at all. Like at a pistol match, you are not allowed to wear any camo of any kind.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it is very separate. So you're either military or you're sport shooter. There's no camo. There's no mixed match. There's no in between. It's very strict with that. And NorArm kind of is going against that grain, doing what we do.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
I like that.
I mean, Matt, you're kind of the black sheep of us, so you definitely fit in there.
Look, I'm always rooting for some sort of underdog, okay? Usually it's me, but, that's a perspective that we don't have because we live here in America. It's like you can wear whatever you want. And maybe a blessing and a curse a little bit, but I had no idea that was a thing in Norway.
Yeah, so I had some Peltor or like these Velcro camo, they're multicam fuzz covers for my Peltors, and I wore them to the range one day to practice shoot, and a guy tapped me on the shoulder and told me to take them off.
Wow.
Whoa.
It is strict out there. That's just for the ear pro.
Man. Wow, that's crazy. That's I did not know that's crazy. That's all I wear is camo. So I wear it for my job, but I also wear all different camos just for life. So I'd be sad. Jeez.
Yeah, it kind of sucks, but it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I get it though. From their perspective, every culture has different perspectives, so I can respect that though, like you said. So with that being said, and me being a military guy, I'm in the Army. I do wear, like when we're in a field problem or I'm in the field, I do get away with wearing some NorArm in the field sometimes, but I get looks because obviously it's not Scorpion. It's not, it's not authorized per se. Is there any talks about eventually trying to get, because I know special operations guys wear it over here. They can do what they want, but me being active duty normal Army, I have to abide by certain rules that I kind of break sometimes. I get looked at, but is there any talks about actually trying to develop or get like an Army version, like our Scorpion version?
That is something that we've talked about. We will we'll have a field uniform coming out here pretty soon, hopefully in the fall or maybe this winter, and that'll be more along the lines of kind of like the what I would have worn in the Navy, kind of like not necessarily a combat uniform, but at the same time we want to be able to do that, but we would probably go down that road when we wanted to approach government tenders, if we ever did.
Yeah.
Because then you're attacking a whole different market, but there's so many different variables that go into achieving a contract like that. So for now, we've kind of just pushed that to the side, and we're just trying to create the general product that anyone can buy it if they choose to.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I still do it in the field. I get looks, but I've had some sergeant majors look at me and kind of like squint because it's close. It's close, but it's off a little bit. Or I'm wearing the combat shirt that has the green middle and not the tan, and that just throws them off too sometimes. And I get chewed out, but it's worth it.
Do you have any hooded versions? You can throw them off with the hood. See if they notice.
No,
it.
I do. So I have hooded. I have hooded and unhooded, but I don't. That's a level of like I'm not willing to push that low. Like the hooded ones, I won't go there. So that's where I draw the line. I'm like, they'll definitely get me on that one.
So I was looking though, and like searching your site right now, looking at it. I mean, I'm familiar with all of it, but you got the Kandahar combat shirts, you got the hooded edition, then you've got the Leo edition. Looking at all the Kandahar pants, protective gear, you got your pads, a signal blocker, you've got some gaiters, a balaclava. Talk about the base layer stuff, man. I'm really interested in it. And this is the first time I've actually brought that up to you, but I intentionally waited because I want to hear that, because in my neck of the woods, it doesn't get that cold, but we do have a month or so of, definite freezing temperatures, and I'm sure you guys get to try that stuff out on a daily up there in the winter. So talk about that and talk about how that actually works out for you.
So it kind of ties into this Norwegian saying that I can't do it in Norwegian. I never can. But it means they say there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothing. And so since in the wintertime it's always cold, and it's going to be cold.
That needs to be trademarked, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, if it is, don't sue me, please. I'm just the messenger.
No, I'm saying it needs to be. That needs to be one of your T-shirts. Like, that needs to be out.
I think there's another company in Norway that already took it. But anyway, so oftentimes, everyone wears base layers. That's just kind of a thing because you can wear your normal clothing over it. It's not about being sexy, I guess. It's more about, being comfortable.
More about not freezing to death.
Yeah. So I think when we came out with the base layers, we had a general idea that people could wear this under whatever they're wearing on top. No one's going to see it, so you would avoid regulations at that point because, who's going to tell you can't be warm if it's freezing cold?
Right.
So, and you can't see it, so what's the harm? But it's just a product that I think everybody could have a use for. Everybody can use a base layer at some point in their lifetime. It's gonna get cold on you somewhere.
No, and you made them. Let's talk about that. You made Long John sexy. Like, those things are badass. Like, those look awesome. They do. They do. They look cool.
Yeah, we had some good models for the pictures. So
weren't you one of them?
No. So my wife was one of them, and then a friend of ours, the company, he was the other guy.
Awesome.
Well, he's much more handsome and much bigger than I am.
He's humble too.
I get the short jokes all the time around here, so don't you worry.
So Hank, we've seen some expansion to vendors in Germany, and you mentioned Pipe Dream here in the U.S. Like, if you can talk about it, what's next? Is it more U.S. vendors? Is it an expansion across Europe? Like, what's up with NorArm? Where's their next markets?
That's a tough one for me because I'm not in charge of the distribution. Actually, that falls under Sebastian's his hat. But ultimately, we are expanding to distribute our smaller products like balaclavas, neck gaiters, base layers, Odessa pouches, stuff like that, to our international distributors as well as in the United States. As far as what's next, I think we're just going to try to keep expanding and take it one country at a time. Whoever's willing. I think France might be next on the table, or maybe even England. Nice. I've noticed a large spike in the France, so I think that might be the next target area.
I have a ton of French jokes. I'm just not going to go there.
Fine.
So
I'm not going to mess with business.
So Hank, I mentioned, Scorpion's a pain in the butt, but I know other companies do it. And I've talked to Sebastian about this offline, and he told me we don't know, but maybe you can elaborate. So other companies do special edition runs, of different camos. Is there any way we're ever going to get some M80 or some frog pattern, low run edition pants? Because man, I'm telling you, I think they would sell overnight.
Where's the Tiger
So when it comes to the combat uniform, specifically the Kandahar uniform, that's a lot more difficult because we would have to order so much fabric and then dye that fabric and then use that fabric, and that's a really, really long process.
Gotcha.
But with the rain shirts and the neck gaiters, we can print on those. So any camo pattern you can think of or anything, we can print on that. So we're thinking about using the rain shirts as a way to have shooting clubs create custom jerseys for their teams. So another market that we can get into. I would love to do a camo limited edition run of a uniform. I think that doing something that is pop culture related would be really cool. My idea was Red Dawn camo. So I thought Red Dawn would be kind of cool.
Damn.
That would sell out like in a day.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But we do want to expand the camo. We are planning on doing the desert version of the Norwegian woodland.
I saw that. That looked really nice.
That looked really cool.
That was a teaser. That was a good one.
Yes. So I was showing that around SHOT Show, getting some feedback on whether or not it would be cool, and I was pretty much spot on. It was cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because the Norwegians, they think their camo patterns suck. Like, they don't like it that much.
No.
And I keep telling them, like, the Americans love that shit.
Oh, yeah.
We love camo.
Any camo, pretty much, we're gonna buy it. Like that's just what we do.
It'll sell.
Yeah.
Like
don't worry, it'll sell.
Everybody, we all dive deep into our redneck and say that shit's camo. We want it.
It happens.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah. But it does. Any special run? I'm sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
I was gonna say any place in this nation that sells a T-shirt's got a camo one. Like.
Yeah, and it does. I mean, special edition camos go fast. I mean, there's other companies like when they come out, they're gone in a day. So like that's always a big one. And I get that being harder to make those, but I think that the shirts would be really cool. But Hank, if you guys do any special edition stuff, man, Insider, make sure you message me before they drop so I can be in there and get one.
Yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on that for sure.
Yeah.
So I've got an off the cuff question, and I mean it's a Hank question. It's not a NorArm Tactical question. But all things considered equal, you're the CEO of NorArm, and you're now tasked with coming out with the next product. What would you like to see NorArm come out with next? I mean, you can do carriers, you can do belts, you can do shoes, you can do hats. I mean, anything across the board. All's fair game. What do you think that would be cool if you guys could dabble in? Aside from all of the upstart costs and all that stuff, of course.
Okay, I like this question. I would stay away from the kit in particular because that's not something we do. That's not something we really have any experience with, and it's such a saturated market already with amazing companies that put so much R&D into their product that it's ridiculous. So I feel like that market's already flooded, but I would stick with the clothing, and I would probably create excuse me, a multi-layered cold weather / wet weather system.
Awesome.
So it would have your base layers, your mid layer, and then your outer layer, and it would have a system inside of it that would allow you to, if it's warm summer months, you can scale it down so that you don't need to use the mid layer or the base layer. You can use it as a rain suit, or in the wintertime, you can use it as a full suit, and it'll keep you warm and toasty.
That's really cool.
So
that's
a better version of what the military does, basically.
Yeah, I mean they've got like cold weather stuff with like zip-in liners and stuff, but a more advanced system than that. It's pretty
correct. Use the pardon me. Use the technology that the Norwegians already have, because I mean there's a lot of companies that have mastered keeping you warm in Norway. And I feel like with that kind of experience, you would find a more sophisticated yet simple product.
Man, speaking of that and keeping you warm, so I got to ask you as a Chiefs fan, Arrowhead in December and honestly most recently January and sometimes first week of February, you know, there's some games that are being played in Arrowhead.
Absolutely.
Talk about the difference in cold between Arrowhead and then Norway's winter. Which one, if you had to pick, which one's worse?
Which one is worse? I like this question because I keep reminding my wife about this. Kansas winter is worse.
Wow.
Man.
Because it is so flat and it's such a wind tunnel that wind chill is going to destroy you. Because my wife came to visit one time and it was really starting to get cold. And I thought she was this hardcore Norwegian, could handle the cold. And she was cold as hell.
Yes. Yes.
And she's like, I don't understand. It's like not that cold. I'm like, it's the wind. This is what it does. It will chill your bones off.
I tell people that when it comes to heat too, like, you know, I'm in Nashville and 100 degrees in Florida on the coast and 100 degrees here, man, that humidity kicks your ass. So,
exactly.
You know, it's the same with you and your wind chill.
Yep. No, it's very true. But I will say the Norwegian winter is beautiful. When it comes, it is amazing. You get tons of snow. We got 4.5 feet of snow this year. But it's long. 2 years ago, it was winter from probably November all the way up to like mid-May.
Wow.
It was long. I was sick of it after that.
Oh, man.
Holy
cow. I'm so happy I'm in the South. I can't do the cold. I'm all about.
Yeah, I get excited.
I'm an
excited.
Idaho boy. I can do it cold.
Yeah, I'm excited just because, you know, where I'm at, we get winter, but it's for about 30 days, and we might get snow twice. And when I say snow, I mean like we sell out of milk, eggs, and bread, and we get like a ½ inch, and no one knows how to drive, and it's hilarious. But, you know, you actually see real snow in Kansas City, but you're also seeing like real snow.
I remember
picturesque views in Norway, just picturesque.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very beautiful country, especially in the wintertime. I feel like we live in a snow globe.
I love that.
It does look beautiful. Actually, that's one like Norway, because I'm Swedish, so like going up to Norway, Sweden, that's kind of where like I've been to Europe, but I've never been up there in that area before, and that's definitely somewhere I want to come and visit. I would love to get a tour because I'll just say this: you guys look like you're a pretty cool warehouse. The warehouse looks like a fun house. You have that little shoot house in there. It looks like. And then it also looks like I saw in a couple of videos you guys have a spot where you're putting up flags and stuff. And I have to ask, if we get you a whiskey and Windish flag, are we going to be able to rock one in NorArm Tactical's warehouse?
Absolutely. You send it along and we'll put it up.
Hell yeah, dude! But talk about the warehouse, man. It looks like overall when you guys do post stuff about like you packaging and doing stuff, it looks like it's a fun environment. It looks like you guys generally like a family there. It's a great place to work.
It doesn't look like an American working day there.
No, it's definitely not. No, we show up. We have a little coffee in the morning as a group, and then we go over what we need to do for the day. And then we all kind of just work with each other. We try to work together as much as possible, and everybody has their special sauce that they bring to the table, and we're able to feed off that. And it is a really cool environment. There's only 6 of us, so it's very, very small. And like you said, we do have the shoot house in the warehouse where we can have local units come in and train up, or if we want to practice ourselves, we can do that. We also have it doubled as a classroom where we host, hunting courses or medical courses. So it's many different parts of the office serve multiple purposes.
Dude, that's
something
awesome.
I do want to jump back to real quick, because I know you talked about filing the paperwork and doing all that for just bringing your toys over, but in general, from what you've gathered or what you've learned, talk about the difference. All things being equal, let's just pretend we're in Norway and we decide, hey, like we want to have a range day with all of us together and we want to go buy some guns. What does that process look like?
Okay, so are you saying you're Norwegian, or are you saying
we're all Norwegian. We're all Norwegian.
Okay. So depends on what kind of guns you want. Is it shotguns, rifles, pistols?
Let's just say, well, I guess if it's not too long of a thing, I mean, we're not hurting for time, but I mean, let's just say we want a Glock 17 and we want, I don't know, something classified as assault rifle. It doesn't have to be AR. It can be anything semi-automatic rifle.
Okay, so you would have to you'd have to schedule the IPSC course, and then you would have to pass and complete that course and do a 6-month waiting period of at least 10 competitions or 10 trainings that are signed off by a range master. And then you turn that into the police. When they give you the paperwork, they'll run a background check that can take a couple weeks, and then you are cleared to purchase a firearm. And then you have to purchase
that would be rented equipment?
No, this is if you want to buy it.
What we're saying, though, is if you have to do the competition, what do you shoot with?
Yeah,
so when I go, I borrow a handgun from a friend or someone else at the range.
Okay.
Yeah. But I am about to purchase a Langdon Beretta M9 RDO.
Good choice.
Nice.
Just because, I use the M9 in the Navy, and I know it's hit or miss with people in the M9, but I just think it's a sexy gun. And it's like the perfect Beretta. And I think it would just be fun to troll on Norwegians with a Beretta.
I love it.
I'm a sucker for an old hammer fire gun too. Don't let nobody talk crap on a Beretta.
I mean, Die Hard, Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's iconic.
What are the popular guns? What are the most commonly seen guns in Norway? I'm actually truly interested in this.
So HK is a big one.
Of course.
Yeah.
CZ is a big one. That's mainly the Shadow. Bull Armory is also a big one. And I mean, a lot of the shooters that I know, they're rocking Atlas, staccatos.
Dang, they're waiting a long time.
But I have to remember, the prices are way different in Norway. So what could you guys buy a stock Gen 5 Glock 17 for?
700 right now? 650 with prices?
About six.
Nobody cares about your special dealer
in the
pricing,
60s.
Mike.
Yeah.
I'm saying in the sixes.
Yeah, that's fair.
So in Norway, it's over $1,000.
Anybody that wants one, you tell them to go to my website, and I will ship.
We'll figure out how to get it there. Don't worry about that.
Do the cage
We'll
code,
figure out how to get it there.
legit. Like I'm
Trust
about
me.
that money.
Trust me. So you got guys paying over $10,000 for their Atlas guns.
Oh,
man.
Oh, damn.
That's crazy. I could imagine like a staccato too going pretty crazy up there because I mean around here you're spending almost $3,000 to $4,000 for a staccato in the U.S. So I imagine getting one over there is probably well over $10,000.
Right. So like the standard price for the Langdon, for example, is around $1,500, and I found one on a website in Norway that I have reserved now. It was marked at 21,000 NOK, which would be like $2,000, and it's down to like 19,000 NOK. So it's under $2,000, and I feel like that's a steal for the market that I'm currently in.
Is there anything? I guess I have to ask this too. I guess it's a two-part question. First part is, how is the Norwegian NFA stuff? How are silencers treated over there? And then secondly, is there anything that's, because so far it doesn't sound like anything's cool, is there anything cool about the difference in laws between the U.S. and Norway as far as firearms?
As far as firearms. So I'll start off with the suppressors. You'll love this. It's almost it's the opposite of what we have in America.
We're the only ones who regulate them.
So they love suppressors. You can go to any store and buy a suppressor, no problem. Don't have to tell anybody anything, and it's super cheap because it's about noise discipline. You don't want to bother your neighbors or hurt your hearing. So it's almost a requirement. Some guns come with them on there already. It's just how it is.
Makes sense.
And as far as the firearms regulations, I like to tell people that Norway is the California of Europe in terms of gun rights. Like you're gonna hate the gun rights there no matter what if you are a gun person. But you can still get them, so it's not as bad as it could be. It could be you can't have them. Period. So. I mean, I'm an immigrant there, and I'm able to get them. So, I mean, it's pretty cool.
I mean, immigrants get them here too now. Don't worry. No.
So, but it did sound like you were ready.
Adam.
It did sound like you were ready to be like, "Ooh, there is a better law." So, just in general, is what do you like better about now we're gonna switch everything up, and we're gonna say, okay, if you could bring one or two customs or laws or habits, whatever it is, from Norway back stateside, and you could implement that, what would that be?
This is gonna ruffle a few feathers, but I firmly believe in it. And their drinking BAC limit in the car after you've had a drink is 0.02.
Oh.
Instead of 0.08.
Gotcha.
So they take that stuff very seriously, and because of it, they have miraculously low DUI incidents. Now, not to say they don't happen; they do happen still, but you're not seeing tons of people getting killed in car crashes because of drunk drivers. So I do like that because it helps everybody just live.
Yeah, I don't think you'll ruffle feathers with that. I mean,
No.
you know, I've never had a DUI, I've never popped a Dewey, but at the same time, I respect that outlook on it, just because, I mean, it betters the quality of life for everyone involved all the way around. So no strikes this way. That's a pretty positive change.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say, I mean, socialism would never work in America. That's just how it is. It's too big of a population. It's too large of a country. There's a reason why socialism works really well in a country that has just over 5 million people.
I think we've gotten too far away. Like, we've gotten too far in our country's history, even though we don't really have much history. We're too far along to just stop and say, hey, we're going to try something different. Like, it's just it's going to implode.
Right. So, like, with socialized medical, I mean, my experience has been nothing but great. You know, I got an MRI after 2 weeks wait time, and it was like a $35 payment. You know, that was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, and they have free education there. So if you go to college, that's free. So I would definitely bring that. But at the same time, the cultural differences are so drastic that it just would never work in the States.
I mean, you could almost fly to
go ahead.
Let's say you could almost fly to Norway, have a 2-week vacation, pay for an MRI, and still come out cheaper than what an MRI costs out of pocket here.
I don't know if that applies to visitors, but since I was a permanent resident, it applied to me. But as far as everything else, I mean, it's just a safe country to be in.
Yeah.
It's just super, super safe. But I try not to get complacent at the same time, which my wife is that.
Hank, man, we really appreciate you coming on, dude. We're big fans of NorArm, and I know we've been talking for a while trying to get you on. Before we get out of here, dude, is there anything that you want to plug, say, that we didn't talk about? Any alibis?
Yeah, take your time to plug the site.
I'm just, I'm super grateful and thankful that you guys had me on. It was an absolute pleasure. My first podcast ever, so.
Oh yeah, man, you did good. You did good.
So, I would say just be on the lookout for our future products. We got the range pants and the range shirts coming out soon. We got some ball caps coming out with those. Some interesting camo patterns that you guys might like on the range shirts as well.
Hell yeah.
There'll be 3 to start with. So
we're gonna need DMs on those. Because you have quite a following. What's the next stateside show? I guess this will be a good one to ask before you plug everything. What's the next stateside show you guys plan to be at? Is it going to be SHOT?
Probably. I think we might try to go to Enforce Tac. I don't know if it's happened already, but that's in Germany. But stateside, probably SHOT Show. You know, it's just a great place to go. Honestly, it's
yeah.
If you just say SHOT Show, everyone kind of understands.
It's where the business is done, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to actually meeting you there and you know, seeing everything firsthand. Hell, including meeting you. But yeah, dude, we're excited about that. That's going to be awesome.
Absolutely. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, dude. So take the time. Where can everyone first off find NorArm, and then secondly, if they've got any questions or they want any more, answers in detail, how can they get a hold of you to get those answers?
So we're really big on Instagram, and we're big on Google. If you just Google NorArm, you'll find us.
Google me.
We've been hitting up Twitter a little bit, and we just dropped our first YouTube video. So we'll be all over YouTube a lot more in the future.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. And if you have a lot of questions, or if you have any questions, just feel free to hit me up, NorArm_Hank. I usually reach out if I can. Sometimes they do get lost in the bin, but I will eventually find it, and I will reach out and answer any questions that you might have.
Yeah, and the IG for NorArm isn't it NorArm_Tactical?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Sweet. And the website, just so I'm not looking it up, I'm not pulling it, not tracking. I think isn't it NorArm Tactical?
No, just www.norarm.com.
Okay,
perfect. And that fast shipping, guys, I'm telling you, 2-3 day shipping at your door from Norway.
Every time. Every company in Norway is like that. I've ordered stickers from Norway, and it was like, boom, they printed them and had them here in 3 days. I was like, what?
Yeah, churning and burning out there, the silly Vikings.
Awesome, man.
Dude, I love it.
Hank, we really appreciate your time. We appreciate NorArm Tactical. Y'all are big supporters of us. You guys have shared some stuff from us before as well in Whiskey and Widget, so we do thank you guys for that as well. So you're definitely friends of the show, and we can't wait to see you guys at SHOT Show.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you again for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it. It was a fun time.
Awesome, man. Take care.
Yeah, take care, guys.
And once again, big thank you to Hank from NorArm Tactical for coming on the show. Hank, it was a great conversation. I know myself and Mike, we are big fans of NorArm. Matt, we're going to get you some NorArm swag, man. I'm telling you.
Get rigged up.
I'm telling you, got to get rigged up. We got you. But it was a great show, guys. I'm excited. We have so many great shows coming up, and I can't talk about the guests, but I can tell you I'm super excited.
Hell no.
And,
the moment we talk about them, it ends up jinxing them when we get postponed.
It's gonna be a good one, guys. We have some great shows coming up, and we're kind of excited because we're getting down to the wire now. We're like, what are we down to? What, 9 more, 10 more shows, 11 more shows, and we're
getting close to where you can vote for our undies or something.
We are getting close for the Gundies. You're correct, but also, guys, we're coming up in that 1 year mark. The 1 year show's coming up before we know it.
Work, boys.
Dude, it's getting there close, man. I challenge any of you guys that are interested in like, damn, these fucking idiots do it. We should start a podcast, dude. I challenge you, do it, do it, because I'm not saying we're better than you. It's a grind. Putting out 52 podcasts in 52 weeks for a year. Like, it's a grind, but it's so rewarding. It's so cool. You get to meet so many cool people. So if you're thinking about it, dude, hit one of us up in the DMs. We're not gatekeepers. We'll tell you what we know, and don't take our word for it because we still think we suck. So
track. But guys, we have built a little experience, and we will help anyone that wants to know anything. So with that being said, guys,
get to the closing where you talk about carrying weapons and dangerous things.
Thank you for ruining my closing. So gentlemen, if you have nothing else left, like I always say, stay dangerous, carry a weapon, and I'll talk to you soon.